It's another episode of another show on the Bucket Up Media. It's not JK with Jesse and Kurt. I was going to say, I said another episode because I kind of lost count. I don't know if it's episode 6, episode 7.
We had six.
Don't know.
I don't know. My haters on my Instagram account are apparently telling me I'm trash.
Hmm.
So
What
they
else is
probably
that?
know how much I post.
They don't, yeah, I guess they got to give us the count. But no, I think it's episode another. That's what we're calling
Six?
it. 6 or 7. Either way, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Um, This is the, third installment of the Bucket Up universe. I already said that, but now, getting to it, man. It's kind of cool when we get feedback, good or bad. Kurt likes living in the internet smoke. It seems this week that was his entree, but a nice little side piece has. He told me that some of the homies hit you up on our sports takes. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna just hit the ground running like a running back. You know where I'm going with this. Uh, you know,
How you feeling? We're
I'm cool,
checking in
man.
on you.
All right, so there's a lot of layers to this. As a sports fan, I'm getting more mature in the sense that like I don't really care like the players come and go type thing, so it's
Yeah.
okay. There is a little bit of saltiness with the Eagles or Cowboys um, teams that or Jets, I'd say the top three teams I don't like,
Yeah.
and that's what kind of keeps the fandom alive for me is just kind of like ignorantly hating these teams just because they're the rival of the team I like.
Fair enough.
Um, I'd say if this was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have went off on him and complained and stuff. But I get it, man. He wanted money, and he went to a team that gave it. But the thing I don't get is the money he got was not too much more than the Giants were paying him. It just seems like he was sick of losing, and I fully understand that.
I
Um, yeah.
I
So
want to stop you though. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. If you want to say, oh, it's not that much more money than the Giants were going to give him, then why couldn't the Giants just give it to him?
no,
You know
no,
it.
no. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like they gave him 11 million on a franchise tag, and then the Eagles came and gave him 12, 13 million. So it's literally only a million more than he was getting. But
I just think this looks horrible on Giants management. I was saying this to a couple other of your cohorts in Giants Nation, but like I I don't know, man. Go get Russell Wilson for pennies. Didn't do that. Keep the guy that's 33% of your offense. Didn't do that. And then say you did both of those. You got the sixth pick in the draft, and they're saying this is the deepest draft class for quarterbacks, receivers, and O line in like 10, 15 years. So you're telling me if you get a veteran quarterback who has a celebrity wife, a guy that wanted to stay in freaking MetLife, and then go get a young stud, there's your offense. And then you could kick rid of Danny Dimes, Vanilla Vic, motherfucker, get rid of him,
Big Dickhead Jones.
and then the city's buzzing. Like,
I don't
yeah,
think
you
so.
pick up the guy Burns, but I don't think that moves the needle for you guys.
I don't think Saquon wanted to stay. I didn't think he. I don't think he was Saquon. But
I,
I.
uh,
What?
you saying he's lying? Because he was saying pretty publicly he wanted to stay there. He liked it there.
Yeah, but then he also said how it was something he was thinking about before the season type thing, and I don't know, man. So I don't think he wanted to stay. That's one. And I also see talk about consistency. When the Giants lose, man, which he's been on the team for 6 years. People are always like, "Yo, you can't live with Saquon. Like, you can't just put all your eggs in Saquon basket." So I could see where if he stayed on the team and they continued to not produce because they haven't been, them blaming him too. So that's the tough part about it.
No, I get that. I just all of it to me comes back to a lot of like the management and the business side of it because it's like how different would your team look like if last year, not even this offseason, last year, you pay Saquon. He stayed pretty healthy the past 2 years. Yeah, I know he gets dinged up a little bit, but like he was balling the past 2 years. Like I had him on a fantasy league both years, and like I was happy I had him. And so I was like, someone's got to get the ball for the Giants. Like I I just don't see why giving Daniel Jones that much money was like a smart business decision. It certainly wasn't a good football decision. And they made like now you're cap strapped. You can't go get a quarterback. Like so you go draft someone in like a month and a half when the draft happens. Like what do you do? Like you had the golden ticket with Russell Wilson. Like how do you let him leave JFK Airport without a signed contract? Like
Okay, first of all, nobody has the golden ticket with Russell Wilson, so I need you to reel that back. Okay. Second of all,
he's not better than what you got.
okay, yeah, it'd be a silver ticket. Okay, shit, it's not getting you. That's another thing. Is like, it's so crazy to think that like all these moves, it's all for just one team at the end of the season winning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right.
it's 90% fail rate for all these teams type shit. So it's like technically all these moves could be wrong, or like
Right.
just good enough to get them just enough, type thing. So
Everyone but the Chiefs fails. Is that what you're getting at here? Because that's what it looks like.
I mean, basically, but I think the the moves that were made, like there's the football, like you said, the football side of it, but then there's also like the business side, and the business side, as you alluded to, as you're well versed in the business world, that there's like politics and like ways that people do things that don't add up at times. So Saquon was drafted as much as he was like a sensational talent coming out of college. The Giants drafted him as one last hurrah to try and win with Eli. I truly believe that. It didn't work out. So then they're like, all right, we got to draft a quarterback now. And then they draft a quarterback, and then his contract's fading, so they don't want to be known for the team that always doesn't pay their rookie contracts. And they paid him. And then, Saquon's a running back 6 years in with, like I said, these stats and the importance of these players ultimately have to translate to wins.
Wins, yeah.
So 6 years and one playoff win, and 3 years missed, not a whole season, but there was 3 years where he missed at least 6 games or whatever like that. So I understand it. If I was younger, I wouldn't. I'd be upset. I'd be like, nah, he should be in the Giants forever. I will push back, though, with going consistency and authenticity. You only get one of the, cool story, the hometown hero shit. And they used that up already. They used up the whole, he grew up being a Giants fan, and, he was from, like, a small town in Jersey or Pittsburgh, or, I'm sorry, Pennsylvania, and he's on that border. And it's like, all right, cool, that's why he's the Giants. Cool. But now...
For Saquon or for somebody else?
For Saquon. He was like in a barbershop wearing like a Giants jersey and shit. And then now they're trying to do it again and be like, oh, he went to Penn State and it's Pennsylvania.
And he grew up by Philly. Yeah, I was gonna say like all the past week, it's been the past couple of days since he signed. It's like, oh, he's like, so where did he grow up? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
I don't know, man. That's why it's like I don't like the whole thing, dude. And it's like they did that shit with Michael Jordan. Like he grew up in North Carolina, but he was born in Brooklyn, right? So, like, in New York,
right.
like, basketball documentaries, they'd be like, oh, Jordan. I was like, bro, he claims North Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
He's been, yeah. Well, dude, a lot of people they try to claim Mello, too.
Yeah,
because,
he's from Baltimore, right?
Yeah, he's from Baltimore. But, like, I remember when, like, he came to the Knicks, everyone's like, yo, he's back. Like, he was born in, like, the Bronx, and he went to college in Syracuse. I'm like, that's not Manhattan. That's not the Knicks. Like, that's
I
not, well,
his
given the Bronx would be New York, but like
yeah. Well,
the
yeah, but
Syracuse
that's
thing, it's like, what are you talking about? Like,
no, yeah. I think he was born in the not Brooklyn. He was born in New York City.
some
He was,
borough in New York, yeah.
but then he moved when he was like a kid, and then went to high school in Oak Hill, which is Maryland type shit. So anyway, uh, I'm just pushing back on narratives, and then I'm also pushing back on I was saying it. I'm giving it back to myself. Like I can't be so disgusted. I usually don't like when the Giants and Yankees and Rangers, I'm sorry, the Red Sox and Yankees trade players. They usually don't, but as of recent,
Yeah.
they do. And it's always a little jarring to see a player in the enemy uniform type thing. So for that reason,
With I think it's different now with how much player movement there is. Like again, we're not young, but we're not old, the two of us. But like when we were kids, yeah, like you still had people that played their whole careers at a team or maybe just one other team at the end, not like in the middle of it. So like I used to be like that. Like I was like, I don't want any Bills players or any Patriots players on our team. Like, and I don't want any of my guys going over there. Like, I don't care if you go, but just not to them. But like now at this point where people's contracts are shorter, or there's I don't want to say there's no loyalty anymore. It's just there's more of a reason for me to be like, okay, well that makes sense. Like the Dolphins just picked up Jordan Poyer, which obviously I never liked him. He's on the fucking Bills. Like screw that. But like he's from Florida. His wife's an Instagram model down there or whatever. Like he doesn't want to pay state income taxes. He still might have a little bit left in the tank. Like whatever. Like cool.
makes sense. Yeah.
It's not like it used to be. And like with the Saquon thing, it's like, okay, cool. You don't want to give me the bag, like, but the Eagles do. Like, you're gonna go where the money goes. Again, if the team of the Giants really had a problem with his loyalty, pay him. Like, again, we make parallels between the NFL or any sport being like a job because it is. That's what these people's professions are. Again, if your job said they wanted to keep you and you're a company person, all right, pay me. Oh, you're not going to give me a raise? Like, cool. Like, there's this company next door that does the same shit that I'm qualified for. They're going to give me the money I want. Like, bye. It's
It's gonna be
and
funny too.
that's coming from broke ass me. Let alone when we're talking about millions and millions of dollars here. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Like,
It's funny too. His workload's gonna reduce by so much too. It's gonna be like, yo, coach, it's 3rd and 20. Do you want me to run it? They're like, no, we have actual plays. Like, he's gonna be go to a real.
we have AJ Brown, right?
You know what I'm saying? I don't know about him though. Didn't he unfollow the team on Instagram and pull some diva shit during the playoff
He's
game?
weird. He's a weird dude. But like,
I wouldn't count on him.
fine, they still got Devonta Smith. They still got Dallas Goddard. Like that team's stacked. Like that's actually a really good point by you. Is like you're gonna go get money to do less.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to be 33% of their offense. Like that's just unequivocally not gonna happen.
No, but he's it was cool, man. It was it was cool when we saw Saquon, or what was his name, Odell. It was cool when we had, it was it was cool when we had Plax until he shot himself. It was cool we had Jeremy Shockey. Giants had some cool players, and then they come and go. They're just dudes, just guys being dudes. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of guys being dudes.
So it's baseball season for me coming up, and the Yankees finally swung their big dicks and got a bunch of players. So, that's my epitome of a diehard. You rise up with one team, you die with another. So, whatever. Fuck the Saquon or whatever. It'll be cool to see him play twice a year against the Eagles or against the Giants or whatever. It is what it is. The Giants have. The Giants have upset me the most, and
more than the Knicks.
The Knicks are
the
more
Giants have upset you more than the Knicks.
Dude, the Knicks are. It's a different thing. It's the Knicks are anomaly.
Teams but we're talking about teams you like.
Yeah. The Knicks.
The Giants have won 2 Super Bowls in your time. The Knicks haven't even remotely
No, I mean recent as in the Daniel Jones shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that type shit.
I was gonna say I can't let you off the hook with that one.
No,
you like the Knicks.
No, I'm grateful for my Giants fandom. I've seen them win 2 championships. I'm grateful for my teams. I've seen the Yankees win 5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, dude, that's my football take, bro. I of course it's a shitty way to see it. I'll tell you what though, and this is us being not old, not young, but in the middle. It's not as seeing it on social media and the possible many ways of social media, Twitter, or Instagram, or if you're just on the ESPN app, or if your friend texting you and shit, does not hit as much as seeing it on the ESPN ticker back in the day.
Right.
Watching SportsCenter and just live alert, that was a real thing, bro. So, whatever. It's
a different type of hype, though. The surprise of it then was cool, but I've been on ESPN all week, just refreshing the ticker or my phone, who's going where, and I think the hype machine's different, but it's still there. You know what I mean? They got people looking at their phones all day, more than they already do, for legal tampering, period. You know what I mean? That's wild to me. I'm man, I'm glued to my phone because a hypothetical deal is struck. They couldn't have signed any of them till yesterday. All that shit Monday and Tuesday was technically could have fallen apart.
That would have been cool. Imagine Saquon has to stay on the Giants for some technical shit. He's just running the ball all begrudgingly. Whatever, I guess I'll do it. Yeah, that'd be tough. I don't know. I was just saying, the shock factor. Yeah, I think we have more access to everything, so
yeah,
it gives the layers to it. What's this person say about it? How do I feel about it? Type thing. But when you're watching something live, dude, when the Yankees got A-Rod, I remember being is this the Twilight Zone or some shit? Because that was so unexpected.
That was huge. I remember that.
Because he was supposed to go to the Red Sox, so I remember they were just yo, the Yankees got him. And I was yo, what? It was when you read your school is closed for a snow day.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, so shouts to that, bro. So shouts to the homies that have been listening to us. Said that we got good sports takes. I think that, man. I think what's funny is the most back when I first started podcasting, people would just assume I did sports because I did sports broadcasting and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel being less resistant. I used to make sure that people knew, no, I don't do sports podcasting, It's a different wave. But now I'm all right, motherfuckers want to hear me talk about sports, all right. What do you got?
Now you got me, and that's all I want to talk about.
Man, look at God.
Well, no, I think it was kind of cool, and I over the weekend I had a couple of friends mention it, and I probably have the same at least 10 to 20 people that like our clips, and I talked to a couple of them over the weekend, and they're oh, so you're doing a sports podcast? I was I'm yes and no, because we talk about more, but anytime we chop this up, I'm like the things that like fit well that sound eloquent from me at least. It's about sports. So like they're like, no, it's cool. Like we always hear you talking about sports at the bar. Like you might as well record it. And I'm like, that's kind of what I'm doing. So that was cool. And then the one dude I was talking to was because I sent him a clip of Alexander Ovechkin, and it was like his top 10 goals or whatever. I think I sent it to you too, but like my buddy had brought up, hey, like, can you say that Alexander Ovechkin is the most complete forward or something about, because obviously he's more of an offensive guy, but like he can play defense too. And it had me thinking, I was like, well, he's getting close to Gretzky's goals, not his points. And so then I was thinking, like, well, could you make that argument? And so he was like, oh, you should put that on your podcast. I was like, that's actually a good topic. Like, you and me could sit here and chop it up about hockey if we wanted it. So that was cool. Shout out to, a couple of my buddies, wanting to hear hockey takes. So,
So well, just like other sports, man, like hockey's evolved. It's a lot more offensive. I mean, it kind of always was, but now like with the Michigan shot and like the trick shots that are going on and stuff like that, and also like the overtime rules are now more inclined to be offensive heavy.
yeah.
The more complete player is going to be more the heavy shooter. Somebody that can go bar down, if you will. But
Right.
I'd say, yeah, like Ovechkin, he's kind of on his way out probably soon.
Well, that's probably why you can make the case. If you think about it, he's been around for.
Yeah, I would say people would probably argue about like, his agility and stuff because he's bigger. He is like 6'5", like, he's like a linebacker. Or no, he's like a lineman, bro. He's like a tight end, actually. That's what he is, like a tight end. So I don't know, maybe his speed, like he was never known for his like blazing speed, but yeah,
I mean, you got to throw him in there. Like
yeah, I'd say
I
he's
have
the
other
best,
friends.
the complete
Like
player. I mean, yeah, I'd say he's the best.
if you like longevity, you go Yamir Yager.
Yeah, yeah.
The NHL didn't want to give him a. That's the wildest thing I've ever heard about him was the NHL was like, nah, we're good on you. He's like, all right, I'm going to start my own league, own a team, coach it, and play because I still want to play. Like real life Jackie Moon, but in hockey. Like,
dude, like the glory days. Talking about he won't leave the glory days. They won't leave. They're trying to leave him. They're like, motherfucker, he won't leave us. You know what I'm saying? But nah. I think. Yeah, I think some of the newer cats are just like so impressive with their offensive skills that, that's what's taking over. Like my favorite player is Austin Matthews, man. I think it's crazy. He's like the best player in the league, and he's from Scottsdale, Arizona.
yeah.
And his first game ever, he scored 4 goals. Like that's insane, dude. Like some dudes don't like score a whole goal in their whole first, until like their first 30 games or some shit. 20 games or whatever. But I don't know. I'd say if they're asking right now who's the most complete player, I mean shit, I would say Austin Matthews, bro. Size wise and like offensive threat.
What about Connor McDavid? Like you can make a case for that. Like
or even the dude from Florida, Matthew Tkachuk or whatever, like he's solid.
good.
Yeah, I mean I don't know if they're asking all around ever, damn. Then my real hockey.
I still feel like you can't. I'm gonna sound like an old head here, but like nobody's ever gonna catch Gretzky's points because he had just as many or more assists than he did goals. Like even with the Ovechkin catching him, he's only catching like one part of the actual stat, and it's like he's got a couple of cups. He did it at a couple of places. Whenever I start talking about most complete or GOAT conversations, it's all of it. it's championships. It's how it's individual awards. It's individual statistics, like what your impact was on and off the ice in this case. As much as I like seeing new talent and people beating those heights, I don't know, man. It's Gary the Great, man. You know, I don't know. I'd love to hear someone's like real hard argument why it's not Wayne Gretzky.
So back in my real hockey bag was like watching it was like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and I'd say for your friends if they're really hockey fans, they'll know this name. And talk about defense, he was a defender. His name was Scott Niedermayer, and
Oh, all right.
yeah, he played for the Devils. But this was when like I kind of was like, oh, I got like a what's that like Miss Cleo shit when they're like, oh, I got a fifth sense or some shit.
Premonition. You got a premonition
Oh, whatever.
or a
Cause
sixth sense?
yeah, because they had his brother Rob Niedermeyer played on the Ducks, right? The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
And then Scott Niedermeyer joined him, went to that team in 2006, and I was like, yo, Niedermeyer brothers are on the same defensive line, like they're gonna win the Stanley Cup, and they won the Stanley Cup that year, bro. So I'd say Scott Niedermeyer. That's my most complete player.
Well, that team was stacked. They had Martin Brodeur too, right?
No, they had at that time I
Who was
think
the
it
goal? It was Brodeur, right? Brodeur
no
was the big
no
goalie for the Devils.
for the Devils. I'm sorry, I thought you meant for the Ducks. Yes, Brodeur.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Ducks, I think was John Sebastian Jaguar was
Yep.
the
Yep.
goalie at that time. So yeah, well that's cool, man. Yeah, hockey, you know, hockey is unique to me, man. I grew up playing it. I played in elementary school. Um, I played in middle school. Then I played 2 years in high school, and then moved my senior year and stuff. And hockey's funny for me, man, because like when I watch it, I played right wing, so
All right.
I just watch the right winger. So I will say I'm a bad hockey fan because I don't really pay attention fully. I'm just watching one position the whole time.
Right.
So maybe that's just like the I don't know I don't know what that's called, but like the resistance or what's that
So I
called?
should just ask you your top five right wingers of NHL history, right? That's what I should be asking you.
Basically, or like if I'm watching a hockey game, I can't tell you everything, but I'm like, yeah, this dude had 3 line changes so far, you know. But yeah, nah, I'm a bad hockey fan, so I gotta get better. You know what I'm saying? You know.
I gotta say, out of all the main sports, it's one that like I can speak to, but not like enough. Like I got buddies that they'll watch this clip and be like, "Bro, like you got to be better than that." I'm like, I mainly watch football and basketball, and now that lacrosse has taken up a little bit more, that's what I played growing up. Football and lacrosse, and so it's like I have a little bit of a bias to watching that. But hockey's like basketball. Like there's so many games, there's so many players. There's like it's a lot. Like that's why everyone likes football. It's 1 to 2 days a week and Monday night. And like, okay, cool. Like you could follow that. Like you know where everything is. Like with hockey and basketball, like you got to have the NBA or NHL network. You got to have Versus. You got to have TNT. You got to have ESPN. It's like,
It's also not an American dominated sport, so it's not really popular in America. You know, like it
well,
is.
no, I think hockey is. I mean, but it's not basketball or football or baseball where like we invented the sport. Like it's Canadian, and then there's a bunch of crazy Russians that train like 30 hours a day, if possible, to like, yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those like crazy goalie trainings from
Oh
like
yeah, dude. My hockey coach
these
growing up,
kids in Siberia. Like, dude, it's
my
nuts.
my coach was named Saba, and he was Russian. And
Right.
dude, he played like on. He was older, but he played. He showed us like film from when he played, and it was like that type military shit. And then
Right.
his wife didn't even speak English, and she would like co-coach, and all she knew was a
You're just
whistle.
like, yeah.
Like couldn't even like she didn't talk. She just like would do drills, and that was it.
I remember. I remember we happened to get a foreign exchange student from Slovakia who happened to be really good at goalie and who had a pretty hot track to being the starting. Like it was nuts. Like this kid was insane too. Like you could tell he was a little bit off. You know, he'd
yeah,
probably seen some shit growing up, but like, boy, did he not let anything up in that? Like we were good that year. Like
you got to be
because the
crazy
kid was a pretty good.
to be a goalie. You got to be a little
Oh,
loose in the head.
what? How could you not? Like,
You're standing in front of people like trying to fire things at you as fast as they can. Like, yeah.
right.
Can we talk about this, fellas? You know, that'd be me.
You know what? Let's slow this down a little bit. I'm not having much fun here. Like,
Dude, talk about not having fun. A little pivot here. People know I live in Arizona, so you gotta have a fucking car, which is unfortunate, even though my lifestyle is still like a pseudo New York lifestyle. As I walk everywhere to the dispensary, to my grocery store, to even my car shop, I'll walk to go pick up my car. Haha. You know, you gotta have a car, which is annoying. So you gotta have a car insurance. I was paying too much with one company, so like all the car insurance commercials show you, oh, come here and save all this money. So I tried doing that, and this place was like, all right, cool. The only thing is, there's a recall on your car. You have to get that fixed, then we can insure you. I get it fixed. They insure me. I get a letter telling me that they're dropping my coverage because they don't insure my car anymore. I drive a 2017 Kia, bro, but because the Kia boys in Chicago, I think it started, was stealing Kias, they're now not insurable to the point where most companies won't even insure a Kia. But the whole point of getting a cheap car is to avoid the high insurance costs.
right,
So, like, bro, they can steal my fucking car that's worth $5,000 or whatever the fuck, you know?
right.
So yeah, that's what I dealt with the other day. So, fuck State Farm. You know what I'm saying? I told them I was gonna say that easy. You know, they put me in a bad spot. I had to scramble to go get different
So
insurance.
what'd you end up going to?
Back to my old policy. You know,
Yeah,
the one I left. And what I'm saying is, had they just been like, "Yo, we actually can insure you," because what it is, they can't insure cars with they can insure cars with the keyless entry,
the key fob. Yeah,
but not with me, where the thing where you have to turn the key. So I was like, if you would have told me that from jump, I wouldn't have been mad. It's the fact that
right. Like you went and got like a recalled part fixed so you could get insurance. They knew what car you had.
right.
You know what I mean like you had a 2017 Kia. Like they knew
Yeah.
that you
So
had
I was like,
that.
let me talk to Patrick Mahomes, or fucking
Right.
whoever else you got back there.
Where's Aaron Rodgers? He's got to do something, right?
Where's Jake from State Farm? Yeah, so that's what I dealt with, man. So fuck that, you know. Car insurance is stupid, man. It's you know, God forbid you get in a car accident, which I've been in a car accident before, and luckily
Me as well.
it wasn't my fault. It was the other person's fault, so their insurance paid for it. So, um, you know, my thought process on insurance is like you should be able to ride without it, and then once you get in an accident, they should all pull up like paparazzi, and then we could like negotiate. Like, all right, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, that's how it should be.
Nah, I mean, any type of insurance, health insurance, car insurance, renter's insurance, as much as it sucks to pay all that stuff, and I got State Farm too, and that thing's starting to hike up on me, so I feel you with that. But uh, yeah, if you didn't have it, you'd fucking curse the day that you didn't have it. You know, it's an unfortunate part of being an adult. which, yeah, being an adult sucks. Like, it's expensive.
Yeah, nah, it is, dude. So that's what happened throughout the week, and then, uh, yeah, I've been working overtime every day this week too to fucking make
Yeah,
up some cash. That's why I'm sitting in this different chair because I've been in that fucking chair all week. I'm like, yeah,
all
fuck that
day.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Um, so yeah, man, that's what's been going, dude. Fucking my what was I gonna say? Uh, work's been kind of chill. It's a little underwhelming. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, those were the things that grinded my gears this week, dude. It was Saquon going to the Eagles, and then car insurance acting like, oh, like if I didn't call them, I would have been dropped. And then that was my next point. Is I pride myself on being a great Turo host, but I look stupid trying to rent out a car that's been recalled thanks to
Uninsurable.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been recalled. So I'm just checking my boxes, bro, making sure I staying out of danger's way. Um, and then yeah, man, that's just kind of what I've been got going on, dude. Um, my laptop's on 20%.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but what else you got?
No, it's just shout out to my little inner work group, the MQL boys.
Yeah,
We make fun of our marketing team, but um, we, we all joke around about that our little Teams chat kind of gets us going. We have like a side IG chat for the three of us that, shit you can't really put on a company line,
yeah,
the not safe for work gifts or whatever.
boobs.
And we're really big with the gifts or the memes, the back and forth. And, a lot of the ones that have been around for a while have surfaced. And we were joking around about, like, where are these people now? Like, what are they doing? Like, especially the ones that were kids before. Like, where are they in life? Do people recognize them? Because, like, this conversation came up because we were making fun of our marketing team, and I used the one where it's the little girl with her eyes are open and like the little teeth, and she's like, okay, like that's been around for like 10 years. That little girl isn't a little girl anymore. You know what I mean? Like, what's she doing?
I,
Like,
I wonder if she gets paid for that. Probably not.
right? Like, especially stuff like that where like you don't know what it's gonna turn into. So it's not like you would have protected the likeness of it.
I did see a thing that said we're the last generation that our parents took pictures of us with cameras. Like everybody else is taking pictures of with phones.
Right.
So it's pretty deep.
But I'm trying to think of like what other memeable people like what are like
I think about
the little
the kid that went to the dentist that was like high on the
yeah, David
yeah,
goes to the dentist or
yeah,
the I like turtles kid.
yeah. I mean
Like,
I'm sure they're on the internet now, just older and depressed or whatever life threw at them.
right. They're you and me. They're you and me. It could have
Yeah,
been us.
because I think I don't know. I've gotten it, not to say I look like a celebrity, but I'm sure somebody said that you look like somebody before. So I feel like that's no different than a meme. Because what if somebody didn't
Right.
see the meme? It's just like, oh, that's like, bro, like, because that word, like, are you on the internet? Basically, like, that applies to everything, right? So
Yeah.
I remember when I went to that basketball charity event that had, like, Derek Fisher there and stuff. I saw like I was kind of drunk, so I saw like this what I thought like a meme, like a dude on Instagram and shit, that I was like, he looks somewhat familiar, so I just looked at him and I was giving him that like, who are you face, and he was like, yeah, and I said to him, are you on the internet? And he was like, well, yeah, and I was like, well, I meant like, do you do stuff on the internet? It was mad funny, bro. So
That's
yeah,
fun.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. You know, the that's the beauty of memes. They're born every day. I mean, I feel like memes have definitely evolved into like video memes or like
Yeah.
GIFs or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. And then with the timeless ones like cartoon characters or SpongeBob's or shit like that.
Oh,
You know,
I love when like the new template of something comes out and like then everyone just spams it. It's a wild phenomenon to me, but um, all that stuff kind of keeps me going during the week. I'm not really doing internet stuff for clout, or at least I'm not attempting to. But half of it's just me sending dumb shit to my boys. Like
oh
it's
yeah, dude.
great.
Yeah, nah. Shouts shouts to my boy. Shouts to Ty, DJ Buttersauce. You know what I'm saying? Back when we were doing Buckethead Fridays, back when we first started this, we were just sending each other selfies back and forth for the Photoshop. And I was like,
Yeah,
yo, if somebody broke into my phone, they'd think like I have like a secret gay lover with Ty because we're just sending each other selfies back and forth and
just like
shit.
headshots of like two
Yeah,
dudes. Yeah.
yeah, just that, bro. But shit, man, my phone, I was gonna say my phone, my laptop is dying. So probably gonna get up out of here soon. Is there anything else you
Yeah.
got for the buckets, bro, or we wrap it up for Najee K?
We
Just
could
say
wrap
word.
it up because St. Patrick's Day weekend, we got beers to drink tomorrow, right? So,
Oh yeah, was it on Sunday?
well, here it's actually, I think it is actually Saturday, and then if you live in Chicago, they're dyeing the river on Saturday.
Hmm. All right. Well,
A
I
nice
don't.
lime green.
It's dope, man. I yeah, I don't know. Maybe I get a green Bloody Mary or something. That'd be kind of cool.
There you go.
But yeah, man, for the buckets that haven't done their job yet, subscribe to the pod on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, man. Check us out on Instagram at the Bucket Boys. Bucket up. Other shows flowing, other content flowing, other stuff in the works, man. I got referee stuff coming up. I got the referee skits up. You know what I'm saying? They're nice little hit so far. And yeah, man, cooking some new content. Gonna try and get some guests on here, man. Talking to some homies. But yeah, Kurt, appreciate you, dog. I'll hit you up after the show. And
Always.
nice little 12, 13 hour day for you boys. So I'm gonna make myself a
Right?
nice little hot shower and I'm out.
All right. Deuce.
Peace later.